The role of the AAS Committee on Employment, presented by Chelsea Sharon.
So I am Chelsea Sharon. I'm the current chair of the AAS Committee on Employment, usually just shortened to the Employment Committee. So the Employment Committee is a group of 14 volunteers and a couple of AAS staff that works on all issues related to astronomy employment. So our official charge is to facilitate the professional development and employment of astronomers at all career stages and at all career paths, and to promote balance and fairness in the job market. So we support people who are trying to do the traditional academic route and also going through the not traditional, actually majority route, which is not in academic careers. We are somewhat dominated on our committee by people who are on academic paths, though we try to sample widely. We make sure we have some early career people on our committee, some people from aerospace who try and get some industry folks, but generally speaking, we're a little bit biased in our knowledge. So we're super happy to have be able to collaborate with like folks on the BACAC who have a little bit more industry experience that we can sort of tie into. And you can see the full list of members on the website. So what does the Employment Committee do? We organize and support a bunch of professional development and networking opportunities at AAS meetings. So our regular ones that we've been doing for, oh goodness, years now. I remember going to some versions of these back when I was a grad student, going to my first AAS, which was a redacted number of years ago, was the Beyond Academe, the Exploring Astronomy Powered Career Paths. We have a panel and our roundtable. So like Jeff was helping out with this past year. And so for the panel, we had like 6 people representing various career paths. And then for the roundtables, we had 20 people representing various different career paths. So lots of conversations were happening there about options and how people navigated out of astronomy and into whatever career interested them. A couple of other examples of our more recent kind of newer workshops is a how to give great presentations workshop. So to support some of our early career folks who maybe are giving their 15 minutes of fame talk at AAS and maybe aren't so certain how to do that well. And then also this past AAS, we just launched a project management workshop, which is useful for both people in academia managing research groups and for people who are going into industry, talking about various softwares and things that people can use to do that. We also sometimes will help sponsor various other workshops that are put on and support them to the AAS if it's related to professional development. We also provide a lot of career resources online because not everybody can go to a AAS meeting. So if you go to, for example, the AAS YouTube channel, there's a huge list of webinars and archived career workshops that one can access. So these are like panel discussions on specific careers. There's things on converting your CV to a resume. There's on combating imposter syndrome. There's on interviews. So there's a bunch of these archived YouTube videos. One of our pushes this year is going to be making sure that all of these various archived resources are more easily accessible, since some of them are, again, on like the AAS YouTube channel, a lot of them are on the AAS Women newsletter, and making sure those are all sort of centralized and archived so people can find them a little bit more easily is one thing we're going to be working on. We had a contract with Elena Levine providing sort of one-on-one career consultations at a very discounted rate. So if people wanted more specific advice on how to, pitch their experiences as an astronomer to a specific industry, she would often help with that at something like $30 for half an hour, which is way cheaper compared to a normal career coach. So something that's hopefully accessible to folks. We also provide, we have like resources on equitable and inclusive hiring. So like a whole list of peer-reviewed research on best processes for that. This is a little bit more focused on the academic side of things. And a whole lot more. The other thing we do is we do a lot of monitoring on community hiring trends and sort of employment statistics. So basically we scrape everything off of the AAS job register, look at what's been posted, and do analyses about that. We tend to publish these in sort of our AAS news articles, occasionally on certain blogs. We include these in state of the profession reports, but basically this is an analysis we do every year to look at things to see if anything notable has popped up. And so if you have any statistics questions about what sort of things have been published, let us know, and we're happy to answer any questions and do that analysis for you guys. We also were involved in, for example, the AAS job register revamp, trying to make that a little bit more user-friendly and encourage good practices in terms of including things like salary information in your job posting and that sort of thing to help people find jobs that they're interested in. And aid our analyses to see what we can do to better support the community as well. So there are pages and pages full of resources. So if you were to go to the AAS website and click on the careers button at the top, there's a subpanel, if you just hover, that will give you to the job register, and then the information and advice kind of takes you to this page, and then the employment committee takes you to all our contact information. But if you go to information and advice, you can find the career resources page has a lot of pages on like interviewing advice, writing resumes. There's a thing that might be particularly useful for professors is if you get a bunch of cold emails from students about like, what is an astronomy career like? What should I do? We have like a page that has that all written out, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel on that one. Let's see, career services, I believe, has the links to some of Elena's stuff, internships and summer job listings, career profiles, and the astronomy powered careers. Those two pages are a little bit redundant to one another, and one of those things that we want to merge in the upcoming year, but those have some of the profiles about astronomers who've both gone into traditional careers and gone into non-academic careers as well. And so that's pretty much it. We are here for you. We're always happy to take questions and requests. I have pages and pages of backup slides if people have any questions, but I'll just leave it there.
Well, thanks, Chelsea, because that your committee's been around for a while and it's doing a lot of work. So do we have any questions about anything she said or other resources? Because I know the knowledge runs deep here.
I can jump in with a quick question. It was a comment that I just threw in the Google Doc too. But one of the things that struck me as you were talking about the resources to support different to support people in their career finding, and you had particularly mentioned resumes, and there were other ones in there as well. It made me wonder if there. Sorry, my brain's broken already today. Resumes are tailored based on field. And so what you might put together for more of an academic career versus an outside academic career, an industry career, a particular kind, might require a different format or a different way to highlight skills in resumes. So I was wondering if some of those advice and tips and tricks you have, if they include those different variations for the outside academia, or if that is an area where this group or these different committees could contribute to. Here's an example of a resume that would be good for a data scientist position versus a communications position or something like that. So that was just a kind of a thought that I had as I was hearing those resources.
Yeah, I don't think we provide any like specific examples. I think most of the advice that we have is sort of the general things, like a CV and a resume are two very different things. Like there's some expectations in terms of length and what kinds of information you should be including that are quite different. I believe there are some links to specific advice for like tech sector jobs, just because that's been historically a thing a lot of people have gone into. But we don't have like a full breakdown on how this might look differently for all the various different paths one might choose.
That makes me think, though, that as we develop speaker lists or people to come in and present here, is that we can ask if somebody's coming from industry or if somebody's coming from a field or they are presenting about their own journey, some suggestions as to what should be highlighted on a resume, that would be a good thing to tee up for those
Mhm.
speakers.